Of what we hope is going to be a great year, but there's nothing better than opening day of baseball season.
And I want to get to the ballpark situation, but let's first talk about your background because you've worked for Don Beaver for quite some time. And I was looking at your resume, and you've been around with a number of different baseball teams, Myrtle Beach, and another one in South Carolina. Was it Florence?
Florence, South Carolina.
Florence, South Carolina, New Orleans. You've also run golf tournaments up at Rock Barn, seniors tournament. How did you get into this line of work?
Well, it's a long story, but I always was a sports fan and couldn't really play the game the way that I hoped to be able to, and got into the management end of it from the business perspective, and have been very fortunate early in my career to be in a general manager position, and I've traveled a little bit throughout the country and run some different baseball teams, and fortunately always left on my terms, but Don Beaver owns a number of baseball teams, and really when I got connected with him was in the Knoxville situation. I spent about 10 years at the AA affiliate in Knoxville, and then went out to New Orleans for 3 years, and then spent a little time with golf, and then got back into the baseball world here in Charlotte, which is thus far it's been a great stop, and I really enjoy this city.
How would you rate Charlotte as a baseball town?
I think the jury's still out yet, and I think, and the reason I say that is I think it has tremendous potential. It has a great history. Back in 1990, when the franchise moved out to Fort Mill, South Carolina, I think we lost some of the identity with some of the folks that talked about Crockett Park. We hope that down the road we're going to be able to reconnect, but it's a great sports community. We get good support. It's still a little difficult sometimes during the week to draw the fans that we like, but what a great sports area, and the reaction in Charlotte, this is great. You know, if you win a few ball games, you put a good product out on the field, and you give them something to enjoy themselves with, that translates into a good time.
All right, and for the fans, April 5th, I believe, is the
5th.
home opener, Pawtucket, 4-game series with them, and I think Syracuse comes in after that. So, I know that weather can be iffy, especially in April. Do you like starting at home, getting the season rolling?
I really don't. I like starting on the road. It gives you an extra week or so for our staff to get adjusted to it. You know, you get the players in early on, and then they're hitting at home. I like them to get settled, get on the road, then they can work out some of the kinks. You know, the one risk is that you come back 0-8 off the road, which I've been there before. But it's a whole lot nicer to get the club on the road, let them get situated, work out some of the kinks, open on the road, and as you mentioned with the weather, April is always iffy. I'd rather have a very few number of games in April so we can hit into the summertime.
To me, minor league baseball has always been about promotions, and you read about some wacky promotions that teams have had over the years. You guys do a great job with your firework displays, and you brought in some. I think Cal Ripken was in town last year. You brought in some other players to come in and make guest appearances. Is that what generates? I mean, when you sit down and plan promotions for a season, is that the straw that stirs the drink besides, whether your team's winning or losing? Obviously, people want to come out and see a good baseball team. But is the promotion thing big with you guys?
It really is. It's certainly my philosophy is the promotion aspect, and for a number of reasons. One is, as we know at the AAA level, our players come and go. It's very difficult to connect with an identity of these guys. We all know the better they play, the quicker we lose them. I think promotion with a 144-game schedule, 72 home games, you've got to create an atmosphere in which the people can come out and enjoy this game. And then the ancillary things that are around it, the promotions, whether you're giving away a hat or a cap and what goes on the field. The fireworks is a huge promotion, but it's about the event. And our staff, and I say it so many times, is you're coming out watching 3 hours of baseball. You hope that sometimes the game might be secondary. Make sure that the event is fun. That's the unique part about minor league baseball is that it's inexpensive. You can come out and enjoy an evening out and with your friends and your family, and sometimes whether win or lose, you hope that when fans leave the ballpark, they had a good time.
Now let's talk about the stadium issues, because there has been a lot of talk in the city of Charlotte about the county, the city, the school system swapping land, hoping to build a baseball stadium for a minor league team. What's your organization, and obviously you represent Mr. Beaver and the ball club, how do you view that situation? Are you kind of off on the side watching this? Are you guys, and I know you've been willing to spend some money to build this thing.
Right, well I guess the scenario is a land swap, and as you mentioned, very complicated, take us a number of hours to probably explain. The nutshell is this, is that Don Beaver and Bill Allen, our owners, have committed to build this stadium if the land is provided in a long-term land lease. It's really a very unique situation. You don't see that in minor league baseball. I think that tells you our ownership's commitment to getting minor league baseball in uptown Charlotte. There isn't a better city to have it. Charlotte is one of the few cities left that don't have baseball in their immediate metropolitan area. It's time. It's been talked about. I think you alluded to how many years they've talked about bringing baseball back to Charlotte. I've only been here a little over a year, so I haven't gone through all the pains that many of my predecessors have, so I've got an open-eyed look at this, but I think the timing is now. I think our elected officials are working very hard to put this deal together. It is complicated because there's so many other components outside of baseball, but at the end of the day, it needs to happen. I think that it will happen. We've got to keep our eye and focus on this, and sometimes there's going to be bumps in the road. We hope that we'll get through them, but at the end of the day, baseball is going to be played here in uptown Charlotte, I hope, in the very near future.
Now, is there a timetable that your organization is looking at? Because I know sometimes it's tough. You said it's a tough sell, especially at night during the week. But you're in this to make some money too. You're not going to lose money and run a franchise. Mr. Beaver is a successful businessman for a number of reasons. Is there a timetable for you guys? I mean, do you need this built within the next 3-4 years?
Well, I think we do, and the goal right now is April of '09. It's very aggressive because you realize you're going to take the better part of 18 months to 2 years to build. But we've got to have a goal and we've got to have a mission to do that. And you're right, we're in Fort Mill and we have struggled in the past. Last year was a better year than we've experienced, but you're right, it is a business. We've got to pay the bills. It costs a lot to operate this franchise and provide the type of entertainment we want to provide, but we can't continue to go along this path. We know through the market research we've done, we know what the potential of this market is that Charlotte will be in the top third without question throughout the country for AAA franchises. It's, in baseball terms, it's a home run. It is. We just need to get there. There's no question in my mind, traveling the country, what other cities have done in Indianapolis and Memphis and Durham, and the list goes on and on. All of them are drawing 550 and 600,000 people per year. We're drawing a little over 300,000 right now. So we're going to double attendance. I'll become the smartest person in the world when it happens. It'll be kind of funny, but it's the building, it's about the excitement, and there is a real need out here in the summertime as we look at so much activity in the Charlotte market in this region. Summer is a gap right now where you can go out a night like tonight and be able to enjoy a ball game and with your friends again and with your family. I think it's something that I'm anxious to see happen, and let's hope that we can get it done.
You got a new manager this year, Mark Bombard. Tell us about him.
Mark's is wonderful. I got an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with him in spring training. He's a seasoned veteran, 23 years in the minor leagues. He's got 1,600 wins, more wins than any manager in the minor leagues. Number of accolades that he could put up on his wall, and he's a winner. He's taken the Phillies organization. He was in the minor leagues for a number of years with them and took them to championships. He gets it. He knows about winning. He understands developing players, but so oftentimes at the major league level and at the minor league level particularly, they focus on developing players for the big leagues. Yeah, that's what we're here for, but we're also here to win games. Razor Shines, our former manager, last year's now the third base coach in Chicago, he got it. He knew that winning was critical, and he did it on the field. We had some great players, and we won a lot of ball games. Mark's going to do the same thing. We're excited to have him here.
And you're obviously associated with the White Sox organization, and just a year removed from a World Series championship. What kind of relationship do you have with the Sox?
Very positive, and it starts with the relationship with Jerry Reinsdorf and Don Beaver. Have been friends for a number of years, and it trickles down. Kenny Williams is very committed to developing players and again winning at the minor league level. We've got a number of players that will return from last year's club, and they're good quality people too. And when we talk about the overall scope of what players are and athletes on the field and off the field, they give us a good group of quality young men that believe and understand the importance of getting out in the community and giving back. And from a general manager's perspective, those are the kind of things I look at. I can control whether we win or lose. I can control what they do outside and in the community, and that's what we're all about is developing people so that when they get to the major league level, they can compete, but also give back to the community.
Do you have any idea how good the team's going to be this year? Is it too hard to say at this point?
Well, it's the preliminary look, and naming a few names. I'm really excited about the players that we're going to return, potentially the Josh Fields, and for a number of the viewers out there, they may recognize some of the names, but we probably will return the entire infield from last year's Southern Division Championship club. and then probably 2 of our outfielders, Ryan Sweeney and Jerry Owens, 2 to 3 of our starting pitchers. Chicago's backed up a little bit. That's good news for us.
Really.
We want them to be successful at the minor league level, not too successful because we want to keep our players here. And like I said, it's selfish on our part, but these are guys that really made an impact in the International League last year. I suspect to see a lot of those back, so I don't want to be quoted on it, but use the old standard form. We'll be competitive, but I think we're going to be an exciting club to watch.
All right, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about ticket availabilities. Are there different packages available for the fans?
There's a number of packages. We're deep into the season tickets. There's a number of season tickets available, but in a nutshell, tickets are available. They can call the Knights box office and get those tickets, and we go from groups to family outings to employee outings, so any ticket package that you're looking at, we can fit your need.
And charlotteknights.com is the website if people are looking for the phone number and ticket info. I know the schedule's there and updates on the rosters and things like that.
Everything is there on the website, and connect to it. And if you don't have it, if you can't find that information, certainly call our office.
Well, Dan, thanks for stopping by. Best of luck this season. I'll make sure I get out to that ballpark because there is nothing like a baseball game, a midsummer night when the moon is shining and you can see some pretty good baseball.
You're right. Thanks so much, man.
Sports Night at South End Brewery is brought to you by South End Brewery and Smokehouse, offering fine cuisine, custom crafted beers, and the #1 microbrewery in the South. And by Imbo Furniture, Scandinavian and contemporary designs. Treasured Events of Charlotte, Ansel Brown, Charlotte Health and Fitness Magazine,
Extravaganza Events and Props, providing the largest collection of themed props in the Carolinas.
Guests of Sports Night receive Godiva chocolates from Godiva Chocolatiers in South Park Mall in Charlotte.